Hello, welcome to Wild West Garage. My name's Morgan, and I'm standing in front of the old Chevy cab again, 1950 Chevy cab. So I've got this floor pan patch all in here, all ground down, looking good. Got a new brace underneath, and I know I made a video on how I made the other side, the other patch for the floor pan and the brace, but this one's, there's a few more details on this side, and I think I did a nicer job of it, so I'd like to show you that. So that's what this video is going to be about. So if you want to see how I did that, stick around. Thanks. So this brace is actually in way better shape than the one from the other side. The other side was all broken up, and on the other side, when I took this apart, the top of this piece was laying in here, and I didn't realize really what it was for. It had broken right off. See how this one's breaking off here? So the other piece broke right off all the way around here like this. And it was laying in there, and then these all I saw was the side sticking up. So I thought it was, I didn't really clue into the fact that that piece fell out of there until actually I don't know when I figured that out, but when I made the new piece, I didn't make it as fancy as this. It's just straight. It's got straight sides. It comes up, over, and then down. It doesn't have this shape to it. But anyways. And then this is actually pretty solid. I was debating whether or not to even cut this out, but now that I see that's broken and how pitted it is inside here, I'm glad I did. So this side has a few more features to it. It's got this hole through it here for the emergency brake rod to run through, and then it's got this anchor point here for the emergency brake pivot lever, whatever you want to call it, the shaft. And then yeah, so and then on so it's basically the same thing, it's just got those holes cut in it. And then the floor pan, of course, that's where the emergency brake pivot mounts there too, and then this hole for the lever to go down through. So a little more, not more complicated, just more work. So I have flattened out this chunk of floor pan, and now I'm going to scribe around it. I want to make it exactly the same size as the piece that the old piece. You know, there's a lot of details on this opening, these holes, the mount hole. I want to get that exactly the way the other one was. Okay, got this all scribed out. You can see I just about blew it here. I didn't, when I was scribing this detail, I only went to here. And then when I took my straight edge, I lined it up on this. And I was thinking, oh, wait a minute. There was a jog here, so I had to go back and re-scribe it. See that right here, see? I only scribed to here. So anyways, that wouldn't have been the end of the world, but glad I caught it. So the old Measure twice, cut once, routine. Anyways, it's ready to cut out. So I've got the floor pan patch made more or less. Still have to cut out the hole for the park brake handle, and so just looking at this, so what I did when I cut right through the floor pan, and I cut through the flange on this mount. So if I allow, you know, whatever the thickness of a zip disc is, right here. So just let that piece stick out that much. So that's exactly where this brace needs to go. So if I come over here and look at where I've drilled some, that's a screw hole. So that's lining up good. That screw hole is lining up really nicely, yeah, right in the middle. And then if I look down here, I can see the that hole. I don't know if it's a little bit off because this is so egged out, and the other side's kind of broken up. So it's kind of hard to really know where that has to be exactly. And so I'm just going to go with what I got there. I can always enlarge the hole a little bit if I have to. So anyways, this is looking good. So now I got to make this piece. Got to make the new brace. I'll just show you the setup I used to get the step in this here. It's a little different than the last time, I think. So I just ran my the beading die on my step die or my tipping die. See on the edge there, and just ran it through. You can see what that's going to do there, right? So that's pretty basic. And actually, because I tipped this edge down, it actually came down and touched the shaft when I was forming it, so it supported it. So it worked out really well. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut this out for the e-brake handle. There we go. Got the hole. It's carved into it, whatever, filed into it. So it might even be in the right place. So there's the original. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be in the right place. Turned out pretty good. Flanged over on the sides. So now I gotta, I think I said I was gonna make that brace. Yeah, so now I gotta make the brace. I'll drill these holes out bigger after. Just another air quality tip for your shop. I'm trying to clean up this surface rust on this hunk of sheet metal, and I'm using a wire wheel. So instead of blowing dust all over the place, I just squirt it with a bit of water. It's still going to clean it, and once I got it wire brushed down, I'll just wipe it off with a rag. No dust. So I stepped this up a bit here. I'm now using a 50 vinegar and water solution. And it's not only taking the rust off, it's taking all the mill scale off too. It smells good. So this is what this looked like before I started. So I hit it with the water and the wire wheel, knocked off, you know, the most of the rust, and then I hit it with the 50-50 water vinegar solution. And this is the side, this side. So that was what that looked like. Not, I've spent maybe 10 minutes on this piece. So anyways, I'm going to use this to make this brace. I'll have to clean this side up a bit more, but this is hot rolled. I think it's either 16 or 18 gauge.
16 gauge.
I use it for this body brace. So that's what I use on the other side. I'll just go over this with a flapper wheel and clean the rest of that off. But that's pretty impressive for what it was. It looks pretty good.
So in this clip, I'm just forming a bit of an offset on the end of the brace, where the apron on the door opening, it comes up and it takes a 90 and it goes underneath the floor pan, so it's 2 layers thick there. So the brace needs more room to accommodate that overlap. So I'm just taking this, pushing it over like 1 material thickness so that that overlapping portion can fit in there.
So there it is, all finished. I like it. So I've got everything I need now. Floor pan, the brace, the kick panel, the filler piece, I don't know what you want to call that. It goes between the kick panel and the outer skin. So I've got all these pieces now ready to go back on here, so I'll get to that in the next one, I guess. So I'll give you a little look at this. I think it turned out pretty good. You know, it's all in there, it's all nice and solid now. Got this piece to go in yet. Gave it the acid treatment, just like the other side. Kind of looks kind of cool. It's all pretty pitted, but you know, it's still good and thick and solid. So that's got to be welded on there, and then I've also got this piece for the park brake lever. It comes up through the floor, and there's a kind of a rubber boot that goes on underneath this thing. But it's really perforated. I give it the acid treatment too, and you know, it's got a bunch of holes in it where there's not supposed to be holes. So I might have to make a video on how I make this too. I'm just thinking about how I'm going to do it right now. So anyways, that's it for this one. So just got to keep going. So thanks for sticking around, and you know, I'm quite pleased with how this all turned out. I had a comment on the video where I showed how I made this cab corner. Something to do with the effect that whoever the commenter was said something like, you know, I do this for a living. If I had to go to all that effort, I'd be in the poorhouse, or I'd be in poverty. So, you know, that's not what I'm doing here. This channel is kind of, I guess, for the next little while, and it has been primarily about metal shaping. So it's not a channel about how to make money metal shaping. It's a channel about how to shape metal. And that's it. So, you know, like, I agree that I could, you know,
that it's not practical to make these parts. If you're restoring this cab, it's not practical to make the parts because you can buy them so cheap. Like I'm not sure what this part is, but it's probably less than $150. I think this piece here is $130 or something US. So, you know, by the time I get it here in my hand, it's probably going to be, with the shipping and everything. I guess if I bought everything from the same place at the same time, I'd save on the shipping, but you know, so it's not really practical. But like I said, that's not what it's about. I'm loving every minute of what I'm doing here. You know, and when the time comes, like, this is practice for me. I'm basically getting paid to practice metal shaping. I might only be getting paid $10 an hour, but it's like, you know that saying, a bad day fishing is better than a good day at work. So to me, a bad day metal shaping is better than a good day at work, I guess. You know, I don't have to get up and go to work anymore. I get up and walk out here and do what I love, right? So, anyways, so at the end of the day, like, you know, when this cab is all finished, I'm gonna have to sit down and add up all these parts, what I can buy them for, throw a little shipping on top of it, and that's what my customer is gonna get billed for. He's gonna get billed for the parts and the time it takes me to put them on. So, you know, I'm not making a ton of money on this, but when the day comes and I get a vehicle in here like that Plymouth that I did, I couldn't find any parts for that readily available anyways. There might have been a rocker panel or something, or I couldn't find any patch panels for it. So, you know, I had to make everything for that car. But there's going to come a time when something, you know, an expensive car that you might not be able to get parts for is going to come in here, and I'm going to be able to make the stuff. And that's where I'm going to make my money. You know, I haven't missed a meal yet. I've been doing this kind of stuff for years, and I'm still eating every day. I've got a nice shop. I've got a nice house. I got an acre of land. I'm not in the poorhouse by any means. So, anyways, thanks for listening to my rant, and to the fellow or lady or whoever it was, person that made that comment. Thanks for watching the video. Appreciate it. Thanks for leaving a comment. Leads to a discussion. So I'm not trying to say I'm right or wrong, or that person's right or wrong. You do you, I'll do me, and we'll all get along, right? And to everyone else who's watched and subscribed and hit the like button, thank you. I appreciate every one of you. And I hope to see you again. Thanks.